Welcome to a new video, man. I'm going to be reviewing another movie again. But before we get into that, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification down below so that you guys can be notified of new videos. Also, be sure to follow me on Spotify so you can be notified of new podcast episodes, man. Little update. We're going to be coming back around August 6th, and we are stopping around January. We're going to be taking a bit of a break for a while due to some personal stuff going on with each of our lives and shit. I'm not really going to get into any of that, but we will be coming back sometime soon. I don't know when, but I'll be sure to let you guys know when the podcast returns. But honestly, man, I'm excited to fucking discuss this movie. Because here's the thing, low disclosure. Here's the thing, man. I have never seen all of the Rocky movies. I've probably seen one or two of them all the way through. I think it was Rocky Balboa that I've seen all the way from beginning to end. And I think it was the one with Ivan Drago. That was the only one that I've sat and watched all the way through. But I've never really watched all of them from beginning to end. But I will say this, I did watch all of the Creed movies, and I'm going to be doing a review for Creed 3, baby. If y'all probably already heard that little barking noise going on from my dogs, but that's mainly because someone was just fucking around in the front yard and shit, no big deal. But honestly, man, the movie I'm going to be discussing is Creed 3, motherfucker. Let's get it cracking. I have been a fan of Michael B. Jordan since I've seen him in Fruitvale Station and Black Panther. I've been a fan of this dude for a long time, ever since I've seen him in that movie. And I really thought that this guy was one of the dopest actors yet of this time. And when I heard that there was going to be a movie called Creed, I was not very sure of it because it was a boxing movie and I wasn't really all that into boxing movies at the time. And this was before I even watched any of the Rocky movies. But I was very interested regardless because I knew who Michael B. Jordan was at that time. So when I watched it with my folks at home, this was like way back in California. We watched it all together and I completely enjoyed every bit of it. It was cool. It had some funny moments and shit. And it was very enjoyable to watch. Some of the references went over my head a bit. And some of the references went over my head a bit. But I remember really enjoying it from beginning to end either way because I was really loving the storyline. I was loving the thrill and the excitement and just the storyline itself. It was amazing. And when I saw the trailer for Creed 2, I was hyped as a motherfucker to see this shit. Like, I enjoyed the first one, and the second one was all the more incredible. I did have to watch the one with Ivan Drago from beginning to end to get an understanding of the storyline and the beef between Drago and Balboa and how both their storylines connects into Creed 2. So it was really fucking dope. It was amazing. The storyline on that was just as great, maybe even better than the first one. Super anticipating, very enjoyable. The fucking soundtrack was dope as fuck. Tessa Thompson, she was amazing. I kind of had a crush on her when I've seen her in the first and second one, but I was really loving both movies either way though. And I remember I was watching the second one over and over and over and over and over again because I was really loving everything that was going on in the storyline, you know? Like everything that was going on emotionally and mentally on Adonis Creed, and it was fantastic. And the way that, like, after all the shit that he went through, he overcame everything in the end. And it made it all the more spectacular, all the more phenomenal, all the more fucking amazing. I was loving that shit. Loving it. I loved it. And here we are now with Creed 3. I remember I was with my brother when the trailer came out, and I remember showing him the trailer for it, and I was excited because it had Jonathan Majors in this shit, and I'm a fan of Jonathan Majors because of the roles that he did in quite a few movies, including with one of the biggest roles yet when he played Kang the Conqueror in Quantumania, which I did a review for. Um, Go ahead and check that shit out. And honestly, man, with Creed 3, it was fucking amazing. Like, the way that both backstories really connected with one another, and like the intense storyline, you know, it's like the feeling of betrayal and not having Rocky at his corner anymore because, well, you're gonna have to watch the second one to understand that. But it's like the crushing emotional feeling and the guilt. It was really weighing down on him, especially since he felt that he couldn't do anything about it because he was retiring from boxing to be with his daughter and to be with Tessa Thompson's character. It's like he felt that he can't do anything about it as a retired boxer. So he basically had no choice but to just sit there and let Damien run his mouth and talk some shit. Especially after he did fucking help him get a boost in uh, in the boxing world. Even though, like, he did say in the storyline that, like, he's been boxing and he's been the shit way before he even got out of prison. So it's like it really made the storyline for them both more dramatic. You know, especially after learning something that his mother did not tell him, including with some like private photos that went on in prison while Damien was locked up and shit. You know, it's like it really unlocked a whole lot of baggage that Creed did not even expect. And it just added 10 times more drama and 10 times more regret into bringing Damien into the boxing world. And it became overwhelming, especially with, well, I'm not really going to give too many spoilers, but there was even more personal baggage going on in Creed's life that really brought him down so many flight of stairs of emotions. Like he overcame something that really crushed him, you know? So it's like he was all the more alone, but at the same time, all the more like prepared to do what has to be done and come out of retirement to fight Damien. And through all that shit, he finally returned back into boxing just for that one match and fight Damien and completely kick him out of the whole boxing world completely. So after all that shit that he went through, Creed decided what needed to be done. And he did what he did. He did what he had to for the best of everyone. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure some of y'all already got the idea of what happened and everything. But honestly, man, I was really happy watching this shit today. Like, it's currently fucking the 12th right now as I'm recording this. And I just got done watching it like right before I even started recording anything. And I was really loving the storyline, loving the character that Jonathan Majors brought into the Creed movie, and everything that was going on. It was amazing. You know, the storyline was spectacularly written. And honestly, man, like another thing I want to say is the way that the story was written, it was perfect. Much props to Michael B. Jordan, because I remember when I saw the trailer, like it said that it was written by Michael B. Jordan, produced by Michael B. Jordan, directed by Michael B. Jordan. You know, it's like he done a whole lot of work for this movie and acted it in the movie. Like that is definitely something that you don't really see a whole lot of times when these actors are doing a whole lot of the work for these movies. You know, it's like they're writing everything, they're producing everything, they're directing everything, and then they're also acting and everything. And it's like just really learning everything in the acting business and doing it all for one project of their own that they are playing in. You know, it's like I don't know how many people can really do that shit. It is amazing that Michael B. Jordan did all of it and still made the movie great. And honestly, man, everything that went on in this movie was fucking amazing. It was well written, it was perfectly directed, and again, as I'm saying, Jonathan Majors' character was really fucking awesome. I was really digging his character in this shit. Really badass, really built this like I'm going to steal everything from Creed, everything that he has that was supposed to be me, so I'm gonna take it from you. You know, it's like really built that fucking animal with boxing gloves type shit. And honestly, man, it's like the whole movie was fucking amazing. The soundtrack was dope. Fucking props to J. Cole, man. Like when he did one of the songs in the soundtrack, I was really fucking digging that shit. You know, it's like because early in the movie it was taking place in 2002, and I love how he sampled Dr. Dre's The Watcher and like mashed it into his version and then put it into the soundtrack. You know, J. Cole is one of the dopest dudes I've ever been listening to. You know, it's like I've been a fan of him since fuck, I can't remember what song it was. It was the fucking like I think I've been a fan of J. Cole ever since I heard the song Workout from the Cold World Sideline Story. That was what made me a fan of J. Cole when I first heard that song, and I thought, oh, the shit was dope. And ever since then, I've been a straight up fan of J. Cole throughout all of it. Like, I've been bumping all of his music and everything, man. J. Cole is the shit. But, but we're not talking about J. Cole. We're talking about Creed 3. Now, honestly, man, the way that this movie was done, it was a fucking masterpiece. Definitely blowing the other two out the waters, man. This shit was perfect from beginning to end. The soundtrack was on point. The storyline was as enjoyable as promised in the trailer. The characters that were introduced into this movie was amazing. And honestly, man, Creed 3 is definitely a new personal favorite in my opinion. And so I'm going to be rating this movie. What I would say for all the Creed movies, I would say that one Creed 1 would be a 7. Well, no, maybe an 8. I'd give the first one an 8.5. I'd give Creed 2 an 8.8, maybe a 9. And I'd give Creed 3 a 10 out of 10, straight up. But other than that, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you've seen this movie, what you think of it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.